Hi guys, welcome to Tina's Tasty Treats. Today we're going to be making a crispy pork belly. And to get started, we're going to need about 2 pounds of skin-on pork belly that you can get at your local butcher shop or even Chinatown. But when you're looking for the pork belly, look for a piece with a lot of meat on it, because this kind of meat is already super fatty. So the first thing we're going to do is scrape off the skin to remove any impurities and maybe little hairs. Okay, so the next step would be to tenderize your meat. If you have a meat tenderizer, great. If not, a metal skewer or even a sharp tip of a knife will work fine. The goal here is to poke little holes in the skin, not so much where you're going through the skin into the meat. You just want little holes, so overnight we can extract that moisture in the skin, resulting in a crispier pork belly. Okay, so next we're gonna score our meat. Just slightly, so when we put the rub on the meat, it'll help it really penetrate and impart its flavors into the meat. Okay, so now we're gonna marinate our meat with salt, white pepper, Chinese 5-spice, and some Shao Xing, which is just an Asian cooking wine. And with the dry spices, I think it's about a tablespoon each. I'm just gonna guess. And when you're seasoning this, make sure you get all the sides. Not the skin, just the bottom and all the sides, okay? Okay, next up is to make a tin foil boat. And I'll show you how to make it in just a second. But the goal here is to expose the skin, because you want it to dry overnight. At the same time as marinating the meat, making sure that that's not dry. You're just gonna create 4 walls, just like so. Kind of aim it around the same size as the meat. Okay. And at the bottom, we're gonna put about half a cup of Shao Xing for the meat side to marinate in. So take the meat side down into the Shao Xing. Okay? And then at this point, just try and fit the foil around the pork belly. Making sure that it's not being covered, just the meat is being covered. Okay, just like that. Next step is to just give it a quick wipe, because I did get some spices on it. Make sure that there's no moisture. And then we have some vinegar. This is my homemade lemon vinegar, but you could use white distilled vinegar or even apple cider vinegar. I've done that too. The vinegar is to help pull out that moisture. So brush it on. Make sure you get every inch of the skin. And this is the last step. We're gonna need a lot of salt for this. I would say maybe half a cup to a cup of salt. And you're basically just gonna cover the skin with the salt. The salt also helps extract a lot of that moisture. Be really careful not to get all the salt on the meat, because if it absorbs that meat, and it's gonna be really salty. Perfect. Just like that, and then you let this sit overnight, at least 24 hours. So now that it's been 24 hours later, we're going to remove the salt, and I also have my oven preset to 300 degrees. So after you remove a majority of the salt, take a dry paper towel to help you remove the rest of it. And take your time, because you want to remove as much of it as possible, because it's already seasoned. You don't want it to be too salty. Next, we're going to give it one last brush of vinegar. You could use apple cider, distilled, but I have my lemon vinegar. This will help it to continue to dry out in the oven. You're gonna put it on a rack, and this part is optional. I like to add a bed of green onions and ginger just to give the meat more aromatics as it's cooking in the oven. Put it on the rack on top of your aromatic bed, and then throw it in the oven at 300 degrees for about 90 minutes. Let it sit in there, and then after, we're gonna throw it back in at 400 degrees for about half an hour. Okay, so we're at the 90-minute mark right now, and I only pulled it out of the oven just to show you what it looks like. The skin is super dry, and throughout these 90 minutes, I've been patting it dry with just a paper towel, just to remove any of the moisture that might have occurred on top of the skin. At this point in time, we're gonna crank up the oven to 400 degrees. And as you can see, I put it on the center rack, not too close to the broiler, otherwise it will burn. Also, at this point, it's only gonna take 15 to 30 minutes, so make sure you keep an eye on it, because it could go from beautifully crispy to just horribly burnt in seconds. So I just pulled it out, and it's been around 20 to 25 minutes, and as you can see, it started creating these amazing little bubbles, but also the color started getting a little dark. That's why, if it stayed in there for just one more minute, it would have burned. So this is perfect. I love how this looks. So we're gonna let this rest for about 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna cut into it. So it has been a long 5 minutes, but it's ready to be cut into it so we can taste it. And I found out that it is best to cut it on the meat side when the skin is this crispy. Did you hear that? That was amazing. And as you can see, the meat is super moist. It's not dry at all. But let's try it now. just lovely. The meat is super moist, and the skin, it's not a hard crunch. It's this light, airy crunch. And I think that the vegetables really helped to keep the flavors and the moisture inside the meat. This is one of the reasons why this is probably one of my favorite dishes. But let me know if you like my recipe. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time on Tina's Tasty Treats.